Hey there, and welcome to video 2 of the 4-part video training on intentional goals and strategic planning for you, the supermommy, managing motherhood, life, and business. I'm Christina Amen, the authentic and extraordinary supermommy, which means I do what I do purposefully, I do what I love passionately, and I do it all by being authentically me. And I'm going to share with you today on video 2 all about setting SMART goals. Now, if you've watched video 1, you know that we've been talking about the difference between goal setting and setting intentional goals. We talked about in video 1 how there's a small step between your ideas and your dreams and your goal, and that small step is clarity. And we talked about the importance of having clarity before setting your goals, having clarity on the what and the why and the how, so that you can set your goals with intentions. So today, in video 2, we're going to talk about setting SMART goals. Setting SMART goals. Now you have clarity on your intentions. Now it's time to set SMART goals. Now, if you are a savvy business mom entrepreneur, as I know you are, I'm pretty sure you've heard all about the SMART guide when setting your goals. So today, this will be a refresher for you, but I'm going to help you go through the SMART technique in setting intentional goals so that you're setting yourself up for success and for consistent progress along the way. That's the name of the game, guys. The name of the game is progress, not perfection, it's progress. So, maybe you have landed on video 2 and you have not seen video 1, and maybe you've never seen any of my videos before. I want to take a moment to introduce myself. I'm Christina Amen, and I empower purpose-seeking and purpose-driven moms. I empower them to create balance, to maintain motherhood, life, and business through strategic planning, organization, and self-care. And I'm all about helping busy moms live intentional, live authentic, and create their own version of extraordinary. That's what I do, and I'm so incredibly thankful and grateful that I have the opportunity to share a little bit of time with you today. So, let's jump right in to the SMART way of setting goals. All right, so are you ready? Good, let's jump right in. The SMART technique to setting goals is an acronym. The word SMART is an acronym. The S stands for specific, making your goals specific. So, in video 1, we talked about clarity. We talked about having clarity before setting your goals. Clarity is going to help you set specific goals without having such a broad overall goal, okay? So let's talk very specific, and let me give you some practical applications or some examples to help you visualize this a little bit better. So, at the beginning of a year, at the beginning of a new year, lots of us, in fact, the majority of us, set New Year's resolutions. And a lot of times, our New Year's resolutions are these grandiose, general, broad, overreaching goals, right? That we are so excited and motivated and committed to reaching in January. We're so committed to reaching in February, and in fact, by March, we've lost our motivation, we've lost our drive, and we've fallen off the wagon, we've gotten off track, and now there's another year that will go by, and December will come along, and it will be another year of unaccomplished, uncompleted, unreached goals, right? So how do we end that? How do we stop that? How do we get off of that hamster wheel and start setting intentional goals and really positioning ourselves for success so that the goals we set are actually goals we are going to accomplish and that we can realistically meet? Well, the very first letter in the SMART acronym is S for specific. So when you're setting your intentional goals, you've already gotten clarity on what you want, why you want it, right? And what it takes to have it. So now it's time to get very specific on the goal. The beginning of the year weight loss is probably the number one goal that we all have on our list, right? We want to lose weight, we want to exercise more, we want to live healthy, we want to be cut and ripped and toned and chiseled, right? That's the overarching goal for the year. And you're writing down your goal list for the new year, and you're saying, I want to be physically fit and in shape. Well, that's a great goal, but it's very general, it's very broad. And so what you want to do is you want to get very, very specific on your goals. Get very, very specific. Your intention might be to live a more healthy, clean, fit lifestyle. That might be your intention for the goal, and that's great. You know the intention. You know why. You know why you're setting this goal, because you want to be healthy, you want to be fit, you want to be in shape. You want to live a whole and a clean life, right? So getting specific on the goal might be, I want to eliminate sugar out of my diet. My goal is to eliminate sugar from my diet. My goal is to tone my body. My goal, you get the drift. My goal is to exercise, to make exercise a part of my daily routine. Get very specific on the goal. You don't want to have a broad goal, because then the goal is too big, and when you are trying to keep yourself motivated and you're trying to keep yourself consistent, it can be discouraging and overwhelming if your goal is too big, if your goal is too broad, okay? Your vision can be as big as the sun. Your goal should be very, very specific. Okay, so the very first letter in the acronym SMART is specific, making sure your goals are very, very specific. No broad goals, very specific, okay? Speak to exactly what it is that you want to see, speak to exactly what it is that you want to do, speak to exactly what it is that you want to accomplish. Speak to the end result. I want to generate $10,000 in my business. Speak specifically to what you want to see, do, or achieve, or accomplish, okay? See, do, achieve, / accomplish, all right, for your specific goals. The very next letter in the SMART acronym is making sure your goals are not only specific, but making sure they are measurable. Measurable. That's right, guys. You want to make sure that your goals are measurable. What does that mean? What that means is any goal that does not have a deadline is a wish. Any goal, if it doesn't have a deadline, it's a wish. Okay? So you want to make sure your goals are measurable. How are you measuring your progress? How are you measuring your progress? Okay? So, and I use that quote, any goal that doesn't have a deadline is a wish. That's true, but that's not for M. That's not for measurable. It just popped up in my head, and that's actually for an acronym a little bit later on in the word SMART. But M, let's stay focused. Stay focused. No mom brain allowed here. Stay focused. M is measurable. How are you going to measure your progress? How are you going to measure your progress? Now, listen, guys. We can easily say, I want to be financially wealthy or financially free. We could say that. It's too general. It's too general, right? And it does not really give you specific direction and action. It just gives you an idea, right? I want to be financially wealthy, or financially free, independent, whatever. Measurable gives you something where you can track your progress to see how you are moving along towards your goal, making sure it's measurable. All right? So if your goal is weight loss, you say I want to be physically fit, that's great. That's great. It's general, you know. You can get more specific. I want to be toned. I want my body to be toned. All right, now that's specific. Now how can we make our goal measurable? I want to be toned with a six pack. I want to be toned and I want to have a 29-inch waist. I want to, and you probably thinking 29-inch waist. I know. Just the first number that came to my mind. But I want to be physically fit, but I want to fit into a size 6 or a size 8 or a size 4. Whatever your preference is. But making sure when you are setting your goals, you have your clarity, so you have your intention, you have the why. Now you're setting goals that are clear. Now you're setting goals that are specific. Now you're setting goals that are measurable. Because if I say that my goal is to tone my body, and to be able to wear a size 6, and currently I'm wearing a size 12, well, guess what? My goal is measurable because now I can chart my progress to say, well, I started at a size 12 and now I'm a size 10 and now I'm a size 8. I'm getting closer. So the key to setting great goals is making sure S, they are smart. M, they are measurable. They're measurable, okay? I hope you guys are taking notes. I hope you are. I'm going to disappear for 1 second, and then I'm going to come right back. All right, so now we are back. I'm back, and we're jumping into video 2 of the 4-part video training on intentional goals and strategic planning for the supermommy so that you can balance and manage motherhood, life, and business with success. And guess what? It doesn't matter if it's the start of a new year, start of a new month, start of a new day, or maybe you just woke up and you said, you know what, I want things to be different. I want to start setting goals with clear intentions, and I want to start moving towards a better me, a better home, a better family, a better life, a better mission, a better purpose, whatever it is, whatever that's gotten you to this point where you want better, you want to do better, you want to see better, you want to accomplish more, then guess what? This video training is going to help you. This video training is going to help you to not just do goal setting because it's trendy, or do goal setting because you've watched a few personal development videos and you know that goal setting is the way to go. This video training is going to help you to set intentional goals. Intentional goals are going to be tailored to who you are, what you want, and why you want it, so that you can be motivated, so that you can see the purpose and what it is that you're reaching for, and that you can keep pushing and keep pursuing and getting more of what you want at home, in life, and in business. That's the difference between goal setting and setting intentional goals. We're talking about setting smart goals, right? Creating SMART goals. And we're going through the acronym SMART. S for specific, M for measurable, and A for attainable. Now we're going to have to park here for just a brief moment when we're talking about setting attainable goals. Why? Because guess what? As supermoms, as moms in general, one of the biggest things that I run into with coaching moms, with working with moms, with being a mom, is unrealistic expectations. Unrealistic expectations tell us that we are supposed to do 50 loads of laundry, wash, dry, fold, put away. After 8 hours of work, cook a homemade dinner from scratch. Make sure the kids are perfectly dressed, bathed, washed every single day. Yeah, I know. Our home is supposed to be perfectly clean. We're supposed to be physically fit, take time for ourselves, and everything else in between. Unrealistic expectations tell us that when we don't dot every I and cross every T, that somehow we are inadequate, somehow we are not good enough, somehow we're not doing the best we can do. And that same thinking of unrealistic expectations that we place on ourselves and we place on our children and we place on everyone and everything around us gets into our mindset when we are setting our goals and we start setting unrealistic goals. And when you're setting unrealistic goals and when you're setting unrealistic expectations, you are setting yourself up for failure. You're setting yourself up for failure. I've had to learn that the hard way myself. I started out in business back in 2008, my first go round in entrepreneurship. And I'm telling you, I jumped in and I said, I'm going to start this childhood development and learning center. And I'm going to have a bunch of kids and business is going to be booming and I'm going to do it all instantly, right? And that's not the case. That's not the case. So when you start setting yourself up with these unrealistic expectations and these unrealistic goals, you set yourself up for failure because you're not being realistic to your time, your resources, your skills, your abilities. You're not being realistic to where you are in your life. If you've never generated $5,000 in your business, it's probably not a good idea to set a goal to be a six-figure business or $1 million business within 6 months. It's not realistic if you haven't generated $5,000. So you want to make sure that when you're setting your goals, that they're goals that you can actually reach. You can reasonably reach. I'm not saying have low standards. I'm saying being realistic about where you are. Because guess what? When you reach that goal, you can easily set another goal and just raise the bar and raise the bar and raise the bar. But if you put the bar too high from the beginning and you can't reasonably reach that, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to become extremely overwhelmed. And guess what usually happens? What usually happens is we quit. We quit. We quit because our goals were not attainable. All right? So we're not going to do what we've always done and expect something different other than what we've always gotten. We're not going to do that because we're not insane. No, we're not insane. We're going to set goals that are attainable. So making sure your goal is specific, making sure that your goal is measurable, that you can chart your progress, and making sure your goal is attainable, that you can actually reach the goal that you're setting reasonably and realistically, okay? Making sure your goal is attainable. All right. So, if you are, and I don't want to size shame anyone. It's just that weight loss and fitness goals are the easiest goals to use as an example. So, if you are a size 16, you don't want to make your goal. You don't want to make your goal a size 2. That's great that you want to be a size 2, perhaps. If that's your preference, it's great. If you want to be a size 2, wonderful. Yeah, your prerogative. I'm saying you don't want to make your goal a size 2 because is it something that you can reasonably and realistically attain? Maybe setting a more realistic goal, working your way down, and as you reach that goal, you set a new goal, and that's going to keep you productive. That's going to keep you progressing and moving forward. But if you set a goal that's outside of your reach, you're going to get discouraged and you're going to quit. You're going to quit. And you're going to feel like a failure because you did not reach your goal. I know. I've been there. I've done that. I've set goals where I'm going to enroll 50 moms. I'm going to enroll 50 moms in the Super Mommy and Me community within 30 days. That may sound reasonable. It is reasonable if you already have the influence, if you already have the following, if you already have the systems in place, and if you are prepared for those 50 months. But if I'm just starting out the gate and no one even knows who I am, it's probably going to be a lot of work that I may not be able to realistically do in that time frame to reach that goal. So you got to consider all that it takes in order to reach that goal, and you got to consider whether or not you can reasonably do that, or is it setting the bar so high that it's setting you up for failure. All right, so I'll get off of that bandwagon. I'll move on because there's two more letters in the acronym SMART, SMART. There's two more letters that we have got to cover on video 2 of setting intentional goals and strategic planning. So the next letter is R, relevant. 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 Setting relevant goals. Setting relevant goals. Are you setting goals that you arbitrarily pulled out of the sky, out of the clear blue sky, and they're not relevant to what's important to you? They're not relevant to what matters to you. They're not relevant to your life. They're not relevant to who you are and what you do on a daily basis, day in and day out. Are you setting goals that are not relevant to how you live? Making sure your goals are relevant is key. It's key because guess what? When your goals are relevant, you can maintain passion and you can maintain commitment and consistency because it is in alignment with who you are. I can't tell you the number of people that have come to me, the number of moms that have come to me with business goals. They want to start a business. And I say, awesome, awesome. Well, what do you want to do? Well, I want to start a coaching business because coaching is trendy. Everyone wants to be a coach. And I'm like, okay, awesome. You want to start a coaching business. Tell me a little bit about who you are. Tell me a little bit about what you love. Tell me a little bit about your skills, your expertise. Tell me a little bit about your passions. Tell me a little bit about what gets you out of the bed and keeps you awake at night. Tell me about your passions. And they start telling me these things, and it comes to find out that they're really not a people person. They really are not passionate about, spending hours on the phone with people or teaching or anything like that. And in fact, they really love fashion and they really love, glitz and glamour, or they really love design, or they really love cooking, or they really love all of these other things, and it doesn't even fit. Coaching doesn't even fit into who they are and what they love. And so the fact that coaching is a goal of yours is just outrageous to me because it's not who you are. So when you're setting your goals, make sure that they're relevant. They're relevant to who you are, what you love, what you're capable of doing, what's going to keep you consistent and encouraged and inspired and passionate and committed because it speaks to the core of who you are. Don't just set goals because they're trendy and because everyone else is doing it or you're seeing other people with success in that way, because it may not fit you. It may not fit you. And so setting your goals up based on what other people may do or what is working for other people, it's going to set you up for failure if it's not true to who you are. If we stay in line with the fitness example, there are a lot of people who set fitness goals in the beginning of the year, and they say, I'm going to go to the gym three times a day, 5 times a week. And if you know that that's not kind of who you are, like it's not relevant to your life, if you work a busy schedule and you travel a lot, or you have lots of demands in your life, we're moms, you have lots of demands in your life. If you know that your kids are very busy in ballet and sports and travel teams, and you work lots of hours and your spouse works hours, so you guys are constantly in and out of each other, and you don't have the support system that you need for babysitting and just all of these things, or it's a financial strain. You really can't realistically absorb that cost, to have a gym membership, whatever. It could be a lot of reasons, and it's not really relevant to how you live your life. Putting that pressure on yourself to go to the gym 5 times a week, it's unrealistic. It's unattainable, and it's not relevant. It's not relevant to who you are. It's not relevant to who you are. And so you want to make sure that the goals that you're setting are relevant to your life, to your beliefs, to your passions, to your capabilities. Making sure they're relevant. They're relevant. Okay? The last one in the acronym SMART, S-M-A-R-T, is timely. Is timely. And that's where the quote that I gave you at the beginning of the video training, a goal without a deadline is a wish, that's where that quote actually belongs. Timely. Making sure your goals are timely. If you're giving yourself an open-ended time frame to reach a goal, it's not a goal. It's just something you wish you can do. But setting a timetable to your goals, setting hard deadlines is what's going to keep you accountable. Is what's going to keep you accountable, and is what's going to keep you motivated to push yourself when you feel like you can procrastinate. If your goal is to have your whole home organized by the spring, then you know you got 90 days. You've got 90 days from the beginning of the year, from January until April. You've got 90 days to get your whole home organized. And that is where strategic planning comes in, because you have deadlines. You have a timetable in which you must get it done. Get it done. So when we're setting goals, we're making sure that they're specific, we're making sure that they're measurable, we're making sure that they're attainable, that they're relevant, and that they're timely. And you cannot get into the SMART technique if you don't first have clarity and intentions to the goals that you're setting. So hopefully you've taken the time in video 1 to write out your intentions for your goals. And now that you've completed and watched video 2, I hope that you will go back and take a look at those goals and apply the SMART technique to your goals and ask yourself, are these goals specific and measurable, attainable and relevant, and most importantly, timely? Have I set a timetable so that I can go into strategic planning on how it is that I can exactly walk out the plan to reaching my goal in the time that I have designated? All right? So I hope that this video too has been extremely valuable to you in helping you set intentional goals so that you can set your strategic plan to reaching your goals as a mother who is passionate and purposeful about living balanced and authentic at home, in life, and in business. I'm Christina Amon, the authentic and extraordinary supermommy, which means I do what I do purposefully, I do what I love passionately, and I do it all by being authentically me. This has been a great time sharing with you in video 2. I'll see you on video 3 as we go into strategic planning for your intentional goals. Don't forget, you can always join me over in the Authentic and Extraordinary Supermommy private Facebook group, where you can continue on the conversation, you can ask your questions, and you can connect with me personally along with all of the other amazing supermommies in the group, and we can discuss more about video 2 and any of your other questions about living authentic and extraordinary as the supermommy you are. I'll see you over in the Facebook group, and I'll be back in your inbox for video 3 on intentional goals and strategic planning. Make sure you open up so that you don't miss not one of these 4 videos in the 4-part video training. I'll talk to you guys next time. Remember that your authentic self is incredibly extraordinary, so be you.